And that's it.
Hi, thanks for sharing your information. It was really interesting. I have a question. There seems to be a perception in some circles that an iPhone or other mobile device could be considered a medical device by the regulators and should be treated as such, and wondered if you guys had run into that and how you handled it.
We haven't, actually, to be honest with you. Anything we deploy on an iPhone goes through the same CRC, PRC type processes as anything we do for the web or anything we do for promotional. We have to check to make sure that, fair balance, we're not doing any off-label promotion. Typically, we don't allow a lot of open text to come back to us, because then you have the AE reporting.
Sure.
The beauty of, and I guess the beauty of having the iPhone having its own internal memory and not storing any of that data on our servers is that you're a step back from having access to any, you're giving them a tool, but you have no visibility or responsibility for the data that they enter on that tool necessarily. I don't know if that'll stand up in a court of law.
There was a fair amount of noise about that a little while ago in the blogosphere. I'm sure some folks here read it, and Apple's response seemed to be like, okay, if we have to. They didn't care. They weren't afraid.
Yeah.
They don't know what it takes to submit, to the FDA, I guess, but.
Okay.
I don't think it
Thank
was-
you.
So far, we haven't targeted BlackBerry as any device that we want to deploy to. So our pilots have been to iPhone. What we've started to do is take some of the iPhone apps that we've built and migrate them to a BlackBerry version, but we're really just at the beginning stages of that.
Harold, you made a point, that you can't have just one platform strategy necessarily, right? Because you'll end up recreating the same app over and over again.
Yeah.
So you don't have an iPhone strategy, you want a mobile strategy. So how far do you think we are from kind of standardization?
That's what some people are saying Google Android is going to do. It'll be the new standard that everybody except Apple adheres to. That would make, I think, everybody in IT's job a lot easier, everybody in marketing's job a lot easier. Will it happen? I hope so, but I don't really know.
There's more questions.
Hi, I have a question. I work in global marketing. Sometimes products have different package inserts, in different countries. If you develop an app and you launch it on the iTunes store, does that automatically make it available for everybody, or is it specifically if you post it on the US iTunes store, it's only US people who can access it? Whether if you post it in Germany, it's only the German audience that can access it?
That's a really good question, to which I don't know. We put one app out there, and I believe it's available globally. I don't know if you can restrict it. What we've done so far, mainly our iPhone apps have been non-branded disease awareness to drive that disease awareness and people to talk to their doctor about their condition. We've kind of stayed away from the branded mobile apps, mainly because there's a lot of concern around the whole fair balance and on a mobile app, how you can see all of the little fine print of your instruction for use and your patient information and all of that. But it's something that we're trying to push the envelope on, but we haven't done it yet.
So,
at least at J&J, maybe someone else has done it.
no, just as a iPhone user and a Swiss resident, I cannot access, I cannot download certain applications that are only available in the US, so I only have access to the Swiss application store.
There you go.
Good to know. Thank you.
So Christina has a question in the back also.
All right, let's do one more.
Looks good.
Hi, Eileen O'Brien. My question is the Black Bag app. How many times has it been downloaded? Did you share that? Did I miss that?
Sure. Black Bag is, just for a little background, it's an application that aggregates different medical news and categorizes it by like oncology, nephrology, all different categories. It was number 6 in the iTunes store. It has over 50,000 downloads. It's been out for, I'm going to say, 3 or 4 months, at least. Some other stats that we got about it is 50,000 downloads, but there's at least 2,000 people that access it regularly, like almost on a daily basis. And the time, and I'm trying to remember, because we just went through performance, and this was key. And the time that people spend on it was about 2 minutes a day. So there's a lot of downloads, but a lot of people are coming back and spending time on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this comes back to analytics in that, it's an app that runs on the iPhone, but we store all the data on our web servers. So as all the calls get made to get the data, we track how many people are using it. And we, just like any other website, we have our Google Analytics set up, and we can tell all kinds of things about them, except who they are.
Can you talk a bit about back here. Can you talk a bit about the birth of the idea for the apps? Did it come out of the brand teams? Did you do research to vet ahead of time if they would be successful? And what was the process internally to get it approved? Was there a lot of pushback? Do you have any key learnings?
Sure. So I have one guy that reports to me, name was John Wen, give him a shout out, I'll never see this, but he is prolific at thinking of things. So he supported, we actually created within IT a group of 2 or 3 people that were thinking about innovation and specifically mobile. And he came up with this idea, and it was an IT created idea. We went out to different brands and got brand sponsorship. I think the key is, if you come up with an idea like this, go out and research what other apps are like that. To kind of do your market research. See what else is on the iTunes store that's similar. Nowadays, there's probably like 20 headache diaries out there that you can download, so it may not make sense for you to go and create the 21st unless something really differentiates you from the other ones. And at the time, we went out there was nothing like it out there. We had some problems. We had to license all the content, which was difficult. We had all the legal people in there. We had being unbranded, not being tied to any one of our particular products was, in a way, easier because it went through a different regulatory path. It didn't have to go through a specific products review, which tends, in my experience, to be harder. They tend to not want to let you do as much as some of the others. But we have a good, within our company, I think we have a good precedence with like blogging and things like that. So it wasn't easy, but it wasn't like we were ready to quit because it was so hard.